Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Well, good morning. Good morning. My skin looking kind of good this morning. Better be. It's 59 years old. But look, y'all. Should I get some work done? I'm just saying. Okay, it can be this or that. Huh? Right? See, what those drag queens be doing is they take dental floss and they like super glue it here and put makeup over it and tie it back. And it does that. Yeah, I had one of them show me that. The only reason I knew something was up was because the eyes looked like Eartha Kitt was way out. What you do to your? That's what they did. They do that too. And that wasn't one of them from RuPaul's Drag Race. That was one in real life. So I'm just saying, wait. That's the new Bella Purpose, y'all. Done traded in this baby one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Baby Belle. Now, hold on. I don't even need to go to the gym with this mug. Yeah, now that's a bell. Ain't it? Thank you, honey. I got that for my 59th birthday, which was last week. What day was it? I think it was, what's going on? Quit doing that. There we go. Okay. Last Wednesday, or whenever the 4th of July was, we were on vacation, so I'm still not caught up all the way. Or was that, is that a senior moment? Nope. I'm rebuking that. I'm scared to use this thing. It feels like you're going to break something or hurt somebody. Come here, I wish you would. That kind of thing. I wish somebody would sneak up on me now with this, right? Bam! So anyway, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm feeling kind of silly, y'all. It is a wonderful day in the neighborhood. How are things in your neck of the woods? Today is the 14th day of July, and I say it all the time, and I mean it all the time. I wouldn't rather be anywhere in the world except maybe Fiji than right here with you guys. I'm manifesting, y'all. Okay, I'm manifesting me some Fiji. I want to go. Have you ever been? That's where they shoot what is it? Survivor. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Brian and I are not going to rest until we land on that beach one day. Can I get an amen? Welcome and welcome, welcome. I'm excited about today's guest. He's been here before, like 2019, I think we decided it was. We figured it out. So much has happened in all of our lives since then, of course, clearly. Pandemic. But this guy, this is Jonte Hall I'm speaking of. You guys remember him. He's a former Harlem Globetrotter, but he is doing way more than just bouncing a ball. He's out inside deep in the hood, y'all, deep in the hood, helping our young people of color to dream like he did and to move beyond those obstacles that are thrown in front of you, not the ones you necessarily chose, but the ones that you had nothing to do with. So I'm so glad to have Jonte back to catch up. Good morning to all of you. Hi, Sherry McQueen, Bernadette, how are you? And Robert, top fan, Robert Brooker, all the rest of you, too many to name. I'm so excited to be here today. God is good all the time and all the time. Absolutely right. I heard you ringing that bell. So listen, I got a couple things before I get our guest in here. He's coming in just a moment. Let me see. Jonte, you never did put your connectors in the private chat, by the way. I see you in the room. Don't be sitting there grinning. Go on and type them in. I'm going to stall until you get them in. You don't know how to do it? Go to the private chat and drop your little connectors, because you know you're going to be you want them to holler. Right? This guy's got so much going on. You guys are going to want to reach out and get to know him. Couple things I wanted to throw out there. You guys, if anybody wants to join us in Las Vegas for the Star Trek convention next month, August, I'll be there from the 12th through the 15th. Hosting some VIP parties for Gays in Space and the Star Trek people. And we'll also be keynoting that last Saturday night. So excited. There's a little something. Look at it. Oh, I better not run anybody with eyes like anybody on this screen. Well, those top two look kind of normal, but you other three, I ain't playing that. So I wanted to let you guys know this too. That was my garden 3 weeks ago. Stuff is way above the little fencing there now. I'll show you some new clips later in the week. Harvested my first batch of green beans, tore them up. They were so good. And here's something I'm really grateful. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. We came out yesterday. This is the back cover, inside cover of Heart of Hollywood magazine. And you can see Bathrobe Moments. Look how they spelled my name, y'all. But you know what I told them? They called apologize. And I was like, don't apologize. That's a collector's item now. See what I'm saying? Somebody going to be bidding on that one day. Can I get an amen? That's right. There are no mistakes on the planet, only missteps and little things. But if you just wait it out, you'll see that everything happens on purpose. And then you take that and you do something with it on purpose, right? There we go. So I wanted to show you guys one more thing before I bring John to a couple things. The best birthday cake ever. Thank you, Jason Cisneros. There's my good buddy, Jason. Oh, Jason. I think Jason introduced Jonte and I, didn't he? Shake your head back there. I see you in the green room. Yes, he did. And there he is with this lovely, I want to say fiance because I'm trying to manifest a marriage here. Fiance. Ooh, la, 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 la. Ooh, there. Okay, so that's Emily, and there's my little Brian in the middle. Hi, honey. And there's me on the end. And look, we tore that cake up. Look at the rim. But here's what it looked like. Look at that. Right? You would never think eating cake and then putting candy on top of it with, look here. If I could speak in tongues after a bite of that cake, you gon' say, Hasababaka. I'm not kidding. Should have had a Honda. I better stop before there's a bag of charcoal sitting in this chair instead of me. I ain't trying to be blasphemous. And then they know my heart. They know my heart. Then remember I told you how I left my phone at the last rest stop after that 17-hour drive on the roof of the car and it fell off. And it was an hour from the house and I got home and realized I didn't have my phone. Flew back there without going on where's my phone like a dummy. couldn't find it, came back after getting lost for 2 more hours. So 3 more hours it took me to get home. Then Brian said, well, don't you have that? Yes. And I went on, shake my head. That's why we got to marry. You got to marry somebody that's evenly yoked, because you know they can show up when you ain't nowhere in the vicinity. They're gonna be there, right? Yes, yes, indeed. So anyway, we drove all the way back another hour, and it said that it was like right after the exit, right where we took off from the rest stop, and it showed it sitting on the side of the highway. Now, this is a 6-lane highway here in Chicago. You should have seen how I had to scoot up against the wall. I was like a piece of paper scooting against the wall. I know people thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. I wasn't trying to get hit by an 18-wheeler. Thank you. So anyway, found it, and look what it looked. That's the regular look. Yes. I don't know where the case was. I don't care. Anyway, thank you, Jesus. Got the phone replaced. So it took the rest of the day. After that 23 hours of running around, it took the rest of the day at the iStore. What do you call it? The Apple store. You know, you go in there and that's worse than TSA going in the Apple store, right? So anyway, at this point, you guys, help me welcome to the show so we can get Jonte in here. This is my sidekick. This is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's my own version of Ed McMahon. And we're drinking some coffee that I got down in Charleston, South Carolina last week. Praline and cream. Is there an S on that? Pralines and cream. And I think pralines is some kind of candy coated nut or something. Who knows? Sherry McQueen, can you tell us what pralines are? Is that a real thing, or is it just a candy? Let me know. Now listen, let me tell you what Jonte's been doing a little bit before you get in here, because you know he kind of shy, and he gonna be grinning from ear to ear. Anyway, look at this, y'all. Got his own shoe. You know, I want a shoe. And I don't want, he got something backstage. I don't want it. I heard somebody said it would be a stiletto. It might be, but it's going to be one humdinger of a stiletto. So quit hating. So anyway, and look at it. Look at it. Yeah. I know y'all thinking, wait a minute. You said Harlem Globetrotter. Well, he was one. You ain't got to be 300 feet tall, right? And that's the thing I love about him. Going places that people would have never thought you could get into. But enough about what I have to say. Let's let him tell you. He can tell you better than I can. So here he comes, you guys. Put your hearts into this conversation today. Let's pour into each other like we always do, and put some hearts on the screen as we welcome to our stage, Jonte Hall. Hey, Jonte.
Hey, Lauren, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I know I look distracted, but that's because I'm in here doing what I'm putting your stuff in. Yeah. Okay. So how are you? While I'm doing this here, this is what you get for not putting it in when I asked you to. I'm gonna let you say hello to everybody. Tell them where you're at. Take about a minute to do that, and I'll be back.
Okay. What's up, everybody? I'm Jonte Hall, former member of the world famous Harlem Globetrotters. First shortest in history, standing at 5'2". Been to 57 countries in all 50 states. Yes. Traveling around the world.
5'2". Did you say 5'2"?
Yeah, 5'2".
Oh, we got to hang out. We got to hang out so I can feel like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar walking next to you, because I'm 5'6". That'll make I'll be like, so. Anyway, Jonte, so Jonte, tell the truth though. Okay, take us back to the very first time, the idea of even what was it, a tryout, an audition? Okay, what was required and what happened when you walked in? Because you know they tried to go ahead.
Yeah, I already know. So my first tryout was NBA G League. That's like the NBA minor league. So that was my first tryout, and I drove on the train from Baltimore to North Carolina for 8 hours, Lauren. So I took all the money I saved up, and bought me a train ticket, and I got a hotel.
Okay.
So that was my first tryout. So when I went into the tryout, well, first and foremost, you have to be a great basketball player. You just can't be, just no ordinary person. You got to be a special individual
Right.
You know, by me being small, so I had to like, I had to bring something to the table.
So let me ask you, so what'd you do? Is it like when you're trying to get on Big Brother or Survivor? Did you have to send in like a tape first, then they invite you in person, or you just go stand in line all week and then finally get in with a number on the chest like you in a marathon?
Okay, so with the Globetrotters, all right, with the Globetrotters, the tryout. See, God bless me. I was with the Washington Generals for a year and a half. That's the
That's
Globetrotters
right.
opponent. So what I had to do with them, I had to send in some film on myself. And my first tryout was my first game. So pretty much that was my tryout. So if I messed up, you gone. So that was my
Could
first
you tell
tryout.
they were watching you?
Yes, they was.
You
Yes,
could
and I
feel
had
it, couldn't you?
yes, yes, and I had some of the Globetrotter players tell me, man, you need to be a Globetrotter, man. I think you got what it takes.
Really? What's your
Yes.
highest scoring game, Jonte?
Um, the Globetrotters, of course, I scored about 45 points.
In one game?
Yep.
Who picked you up and held you above the basket? Whose shoulders was you on? That's what I want to know. Who had you on their shoulder? Because you know they got all them tricks.
Yeah, yeah. You know what, Lauren? I can, God bless me with some good, strong legs. So I can jump myself and dunk
You quit playing. You know you used one of them bouncy things, one of them little mini trampoline, didn't you?
No, no.
Really? Have
Yes,
you ever
yes,
hit a half court shot?
yes. Like this, like on my knees. Let's say the rim is behind me, so I'm facing this way. So I did a shot on my knees and I tossed it back like that half court.
You know good and well that was luck, right?
No, Lauren, if you don't believe me, it's on my Instagram page.
You practiced that?
Yes, yes.
How
Practice
do you?
makes.
I guess you just got to know how much thrust to give it, and
Yes.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, look at this. Look at this, y'all. Up. Now you know in my family, my nieces and nephews call me Uncle Carlton because they say I'm like Carlton off the Fresh Prince, like I can't dance or something. I know I can't, especially after seeing you.
Well, hey Lauren, you know what? Lauren, I had to really go to YouTube and see like the most recent dances. So I think they call this the Fortnite dance. They be doing that, and then they do the shoot. So I kind of had to Google the new dances to get caught
To
up with the
learn.
kids. Yeah,
You
get messed
know,
up.
that's one. Yes, that's one of the bad parts of aging, brother. Because just like we
Yes,
can't watch the Grammys or nothing no more because we don't know none of those people.
absolutely, absolutely. I agree 1,000%.
So I could hear in the background. I know that sound very well from speaking in those same gymnasiums to our children. And that's one of the things I just absolutely love about you is that you've never forgotten where it started, where you came from, and what you had to get through to be where you are today. And it's nice to return to the proverbial scene of the crime and drop some stuff on the young people there that look like us. How important it is that to you? And then we're going to get into, you were doing that for everyone else's child until about a year or so ago when you were blessed with your own. And I'd love to hear about that. So tell us why it's so important that you return back to and that's in Philly, right?
What?
You live in where are you originally from?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore. Now Baltimore is no joke.
Yes.
That
You're right.
neighborhood, I remember when you were here before, we talked about that, and we saw the video where you were actually in the hood where you came from with some of your homies and friends and family. And talk about that if you could. How difficult was it, not just for a small statured guy, but just for any guy, anybody, any guy or girl coming up in that? Talk about what it felt like. Take us through a typical day in the neighborhood.
Okay. So typical day, Lauren. As young Jonte, see when you leave the house, you see poverty, you see drug transactions, You get offered drugs. You get offered to sell drugs. You get offered to do drugs, and that's a tough sight to see for anybody at an
Day in and
early
day
age,
out. Hmm.
day in day out. So basketball saved my life because I had friends. You have friends to discourage you and try to make you go left. That's the bad
Where they
ones.
at? Where they at? Because misery love company.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So it was so hard growing up because I wanted to be around my friends every day. So, dude, God, my mom, my dad, they kept me focused because I could have easily went left and got caught up in the streets and sold drugs and all that stuff. So, basketball saved my life. Without that basketball, I don't know where I'd be at right now.
Hmm. If here
See,
at all, I hear you. I hear you, man.
yes,
Listen,
yes.
I remember from the documentary that I saw with you and it regard the chronicled your journey. One of the things that stood out to me was how tenacious you were in as far as making this happen from an early age. Talk about how you used to leave and all the hours you would spend on that basketball court they showed, that same basketball court, but there were no nets. What you tell everybody how what you used.
Lord, you know what, Lord? It's like that in every project, every hood. The gold never have nets. That's how you know you're in the hood.
The no net. What happened to the nets? People take them home with them or something. What
they,
happens to them?
they just take them down. They just take them down. But my
Okay.
my typical schedule, my typical schedule every day, and I still don't know how I done this. Like that beaming sun from the crack of dawn. So what I used to do, I used to get a crate, a milk crate,
Yeah.
and get a saw and saw the bottom, so make a hole. So I nail it up to the tree every day. Nail up to the tree. So that was my basketball court in the morning. So I play until about from 8, let's say 12, by myself. That's how you perfect anything. You practice by yourself. Anything you want to do in
Hmm.
life, practice
Hmm.
make perfect. So that was my typical day. I played to 12 o'clock, and then I go to the local basketball court up the street, and no nets. So and that's how I found.
But at least they had rims.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When the,
So that's how I really got a chance to see where I was not best at, far as my skill level, and the things that I was good at. I was always good at my jump shooting, my jump shots, because I was small. So I had to kind of emulate that to my game because I wasn't going in
Mhm.
that and inside with them big guys. So I had to really develop a strong jump shot with range, be able to shoot from anywhere on the court, my speed, my ball handling, dribbling, and stuff like that. And I, I
Quickness
worked
and
on that.
agility.
Yes, I worked on that every day, Lauren. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Until I got to the point where as though I was like, okay, I'm ready to play organized basketball.
So, did you play in high school at all?
Yes, I played all 4 years.
You
All
did.
4 years. Yes.
And so, what was your decision making process at the end of high school? Were you being recruited? What happened then?
So Lauren, I didn't get recruited out of high school. I had the right colleges to come see me, and I even boosted up my height. Said I was 5'5". So
And they still wouldn't take it
they
seriously.
still they still won't take it seriously. So after high school, I walked on to a community college. It's called CCBC Catonsville. It's in
Okay.
Baltimore County. It's in Baltimore County, and I played 1 year there. 1 year.
Wow. Do
One
you
year.
by chance happen to know what the shortest person, the stature of the shortest person was or is that's ever played in the NBA?
Yes, Muggsy Bogues, Tyrone Bogues. He's 5'3".
Wow.
Yes, five
Okay.
three.
Okay.
And
So,
guess what, Lauren? He actually from Baltimore too.
really,
Yep,
you've
yep.
never hooked up with him?
I met him once when I was a kid. I met him once, and now I think
Okay.
he does what I'm doing in North Carolina.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you move on through. So let's get back to the Globetrotters. So tell people what that's like. Now, because people think that there's like, they're out there just it's like
Mm,
a goofy show with a bunch of
mm,
tricks in this. We've all heard of them. It was either one. I remember back when I was a kid, we had two choices. You could either go to the Ice Capades or to the Harlem Globetrotters. That was the big thing, right?
mm.
And they did so many things. That's when Meadowlark Lemon.
Yep,
When I
Mellow
went,
Lemon.
Meadowlark Lemon was out there. He was showing out. I mean, just a stone cold fool. And so funny, but so talented. So tell people just, and then we'll, as we get closer to this is the last Globetrotter thing, because I'd like to get into some of the things that you're actually doing within your own brand and life. But just tell us, what is the mission of the Globetrotters? They've been around for how many years now?
This that 95th year coming up. 95, yep, 95 years. There's a lot of history in our organization.
90. So are you like a Globetrotter alumni? You're an alum.
Yes.
So do they do things where all the previous Globetrotters, like reunions and stuff? No, they should do that.
I agree.
What about those cats that are like 80 some years old now that could come in and just drop some wisdom? Absolutely. Oh, you ought to bring that up. They need to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So what would, if just to close out that segment, that story about your experience with them, what would you say was your greatest benefit from your time having spent with the Globetrotters? What was the greatest thing you took away from that experience?
That's a great question. Actually, Lauren, just how to talk in front of the camera, how to pronunciate, being from the, in the local neighborhoods, we talk with slang. So I learned a lot as far as PR, like public relations, and also I learned how to get my own camp, throw my own speaking engagement. That's where I got my tools from. Doing that with
get out there and do. Okay, great. That's beautiful. So, has the Globetrotters ever had? I know it started out primarily as an African American team, but over the years, I believe they've had other races inside. Yes, right? Absolutely. So what is it like today? What would the team look like typically today as far as different races?
It's all race now. I think they just signed a couple players from China, from Poland. So they trying to go out there and recruit.
Diversify.
Everybody. Yeah, diversify. Good. Yes.
I think that's important.
I agree.
Yeah. Because their message and what they do is for all, but they had to get started. We needed something for us.
Absolutely.
And that's awesome. I love that. You're the only Globetrotter I know. So there you go. Let's cut out to a commercial break real quick. And when we come back, you all will have a chance to throw your questions out to JONTE Hall, just about anything. And I have a few left myself, but we want to talk about the things you're doing now with your work with children, what it's like to be a new dad, this shoe line, where'd that come from? And I know those ain't your shoes because they too big. You don't wear nothing but a 5.
A 7, you close, a 7.
That's what Brian wears, a 7. He ordered his get his shoes from the kids department.
Me too. Yep.
And it's cheaper. I'd be jealous. Right. It'd be all kind of good stuff for them, all the stuff So we're going to talk about that and how you have built your brand and where you're going with it. We'll talk about that and much more, you guys, when we come back. Don't you go away.
Never sees me, I'm losing every battle.
All right, we're back. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harrison. Before we get our guests up today back in, JONTE Hall, let me just remind you, I know oftentimes I get so busy, I don't eat as well as I should. And on those days, I make up for that lack of fortitude by this. I get myself a V8. It has 2 full servings, 2, count them, 1, 2 full servings of vegetables, 60 calories per can, and it's all natural, 100% vegetable juice. So the next time you want to reach for a power drink, some Kool-Aid, some soda, whatever it is, don't drink it and then do what I used to do. Go, oops, I could have had a V8. Just have it from the start. Okay, V8, get yours today. All righty, got that done. Come on in, back in here, JONTE. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
It ain't official till I take a drink. I
Yeah,
got checked on that the first week. Yeah, I was like, you're supposed to drink it. I'm like, okay.
Some water. Might as well have my drink too.
I really like V8, honestly, not just because it's a sponsor, but because it's really great. I love it. So before we went to break, we talked about everything that led up to today. First, let's talk about those shoes. How does a person get their own gym shoe?
Yes. Go to my website, JONTE.NotSoSmallHall.com, and go to merchandise, and you will get a shoe. I have these. These to have that's my logo and words.
Nice.
JONTE Not So Small Hall. And this is my full logo. Oh, there we go.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Is that supposed to be you, that little character?
Yes. Some description of me as a kid. Yes. And I have t-shirts. I have hoodies. Ladies, I have leggings for y'all as well.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So you didn't have all that when you were here last time. So how'd you get there? How does a person do something like that?
So I looked up online stores, Lauren, and I said, okay, I looked at the products, the quality, I read up on it, did my research, and I said, hey, that's a perfect store for me. So I made it happen. So what I did, well, I have a manager. Like, I didn't quite do it. My manager took my logo. You gotta, put it anywhere you want. Put it where you want. Yep. And we created the Not So Small brand.
Okay, so how's the brand doing?
It's doing pretty good. It's selling. Good. It's selling. It's doing pretty good.
Good. So when you go to these schools and you're talking to these little youngsters, these little shorties, and shoes and all that's a big deal, right? Yes. So what is it that you impart on these kids? I know when we do the Power of We Symposium, the kids look at us when they see us with the paparazzi and all that stuff, walking the red carpet. They think we're stars, and we say, well, we're not. We're just regular people like you, just older. And that red carpet, if you walk down it with an open mind, when you go in, you may go in as a stargazer, but we know that you can come out as a trailblazer. So what is the message that you hope to leave when you go in front of these kids? And then also a 2-part question. I'm known for those. What is the thing that just hurts your heart the most as far as what's going on with the young people today? I'm just curious.
Okay. I will answer that first. The last question, I answer that first. Okay. What hurts me, Lauren, is this bullying stuff, man. The cyberbullying. And that's what I try to preach. That's what I try to preach at my engagements, because I see white kids, I see black kids, I see every race. And I try to say, look, guys, do we all have eyes? Do we all have a nose? Do we all have a mouth? Do we all have a heart?
Yes.
That means we all the same, no matter what skin color, no matter what. Because every race is going through a lot of things. It could be home, it could be in school, Yes. So I touch on the bullying part. Okay. I touch on the bullying part. Because you never know what kids going through.
This is true. This is true. Now, the schools you go to, are they primarily inner city?
No, they everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Suburbs, inner cities. But I love the inner city. I mean, well, I'm not saying I love it more, but I can relate to the inner cities more because I grew up in the inner cities.
Right.
And I know how I feel.
Yeah. And I've done that, gone to the suburbs and then the next day be, in the inner city. And kids are kids. But it's just amazing to me how diverse the challenges are. You know, for instance, a group of kids in the city will talk about how I had some girls tell me they have to walk down the middle of the street for about 5 blocks to get to their transfer on their bus because it's so dangerous on the sidewalks. There's drug trafficking, there's sex trafficking, there's gangs. And if you act like you don't acknowledge them, you don't see them, you could get killed. And if you talk to them, they think you're interested and you could get into whatever it is they're into. So the safest place is for them to be in the middle of the traffic. Just when I heard that, I was like, Macaulay Culkin with brown skin, for real. Yeah. And so, but then you get out to the suburbs or you get to the rural areas, and I found with a lot of the kids, Caucasian schools where it was all white kids, their biggest fear is that they're going to come to school one day and not go home because of school shootings. Those don't happen in the inner city. Those are all out there, right? So I was like, well, which is worse? Being afraid to walk, on the sidewalks, or being afraid you're not going to leave the school one day. I don't think it's anything any kid, no matter what color they are, should be dealing with when they're supposed to just be a kid. How do you feel about that kind of stuff?
It's like I said, I think both of them are similar. It's just not in the school. The suburbs, they deal with that in school stuff, like the shootings and stuff like that, and then the inner cities got to deal with that. I mean, it hurts me to my heart, Lauren. That's why it's very important for me to get out to these schools to share my story. And to answer your first question, this is what I lead by my not so small. So kids say, Jonte, what does the not so small means? Are you targeting just the small people? I say no. The not so small means they might tell you don't have enough education to be a lawyer. So that's saying you're too small. Your education level is too small. So I'm not talking just sports. I'm not talking height. I'm talking everything. You're never too small to do anything you put your mind to, no matter what it is.
And I want to throw something in there. You reminded me of something, Jonte. That's real talk right there. A good friend of mine, one of my previous coaching clients, she's spoken on my stage, is Tiana Ross. She's from Benton Harbor, Michigan. She's a CPA. And I remember the day I heard her speak. And she was saying to some kids that she remembered when she was a senior, somebody from a college came and they said, well, we're here because we have to be, but we just want you all to know that the grades here at your school, if you have an A, it's really, we consider it a C. Stuff like that. And she said it was devastating. It was a devastating moment, but that helped, that fed her. So I just said that to just support the mission and the vision of what we're talking about here, that no matter who you are, what color you are, all kids, it's no such thing as special needs, the way they say it. All kids are special and all kids have needs, and they need to be uplifted. But and you see, we as parents and whatnot, parents don't hear these people from schools come and tell their kids that kind of stuff, deflating their dreams. So I love what you're doing because you go out and, like you said, not so small. Let's talk about this new thing in your life, fatherhood. How has that changed? Talk about that. You have a little boy.
Yes.
What's his name?
Yes. His name is Jameer. So what I did, Lauren, I put my name into his middle name. So his name Jameer Jonte. And fatherhood has been incredible. Like I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning how to be patient. I'm learning how to be just that soft, that inner Jonte, that inner Jonte has came out. Oh man, I'm just loving it, Lauren. I'm just loving it.
You should. Now, how old is the baby?
Jameer is almost 2. So Jameer be 2 December the 16th.
December the 16th. Now I'm actually on your page.
Okay.
I'm gonna find it.
Okay.
I'm gonna find a picture of him. He looks just like you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How has fatherhood changed you?
Ooh. It changed me a lot. Like sometimes I have to think about my next career move. I can't just up and go anymore. I got an engagement in Pittsburgh. Everything has to make sense now. So it's not all about Jonte right now. It's about, Jameer making sure he's okay. So it changed me a lot.
Yeah. Were you nervous about being a dad? Did you plan on being a dad, or was this one of those, moments?
Both. I'm gonna share this with y'all. We had miscarriage just before
Oh,
Jameer, so
oh,
it was like months before, and then I kind of wanted a baby. She kind of wanted a baby, so we got right back to work, and we made Jameer. Made
and here
Jameer.
he is. Yes,
Here he is.
yes. Any more in the future?
As of right now,
Oh,
no, no, no.
oh. You'll start thinking about it once he gets to 3 or 4. All
Yeah,
during the cruise,
Lauren.
you're like, hell no. Right, right.
Yeah. Hey,
You
Lauren, you
know,
know what, bro? Hey, Lauren, my mom said, look, you can't be mad because you took me through hell when you was a baby.
see. And
So
you know what
like,
though? I feel bad for you in a way because you know when they turn 2, you got to put everything up here. And
yup.
then the thing is, all he gonna do is watch you stand on whatever you stand on to get
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, you better hope they don't put them gates between the kitchen and living room. I
Yep,
don't know if
yep,
you'll never eat. Right? I'm
yep,
just playing.
yep.
I'm just playing. My friend Chris McPhee, we're all short, so we can crack on each other. You can't be
Absolutely.
more than 5'9" and do short jokes, because we'll gang up on you
Absolutely.
with that ass, right? Be like a whole bunch of black munchkins, right?
Yep.
So, but anyway, so what are your hopes for him? And what I really want to ask you, because last time you were here, um, we kind of talked about the things in the inner city, the things going on in the world. George Floyd hadn't happened yet. Breonna Taylor had, I believe, the shootings and all of that kind of stuff, driving while black, profiling and whatnot. And we touched on that, but now you're dad with your own shorty. Um,
Mhm.
what is your biggest fear having a black male under your care?
Um, my biggest fear is not putting them in better situations, like far as like I grew up in the projects, so not letting them experience that. Not how can I put it? Like putting them in the right schools. Making sure that he under proper care when I'm not around him. So my biggest fear is that not being able to put him in the environments that he need to be in,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and teaching them right. Explaining about our color. But he's mixed. He's part Spanish and part African American. So he got that good stuff up there.
Yeah, he
So
does. Yeah,
yeah.
he does. He's just
So yeah.
adorable.
Yes. So it's just Lauren. Just my fear is not being there.
It's not
That's
being
all.
there.
Yep. That's my fear.
Mm. Has it changed you as a man, being a
Yes.
dad? How
Yes.
so? How so?
It just make you be more careful. Just normally, like when you walking down the street, you just walking down the street. And now it's like you have a kid. It's like you want to hold them. You want to just, it's just I don't. It's hard to explain, Laura. It's
Mhm.
just being more caring. I'm just finding different things about myself all over again. It's like I feel like
Yeah,
I'm a kid. I'm learning about
right.
myself again.
It seems
So
to me, it seems to be a consensus among people that have children that especially with that first one, the moment
yes,
you have them, everything becomes deeper. Your
absolutely.
capacity to love is deeper. The amount of joy you can hold and space you hold for someone is deeper. And
Yes.
so I'm very envious of you for
Mm,
that, and I'm very very excited for your new family.
thank you, Lauren.
Let's go into um, what's happening around the corner known as the future for Jonte. What's it look like 1 year from now? What do you got on the table that we need to know about that maybe we can support you in?
Of course, I have my brand. I'm praying that it go in 5 years. It go worldwide. Right now, it's just in the states.
Okay.
Um, just doing speaking for a living. That's why I see myself
So what's your
doing.
major message to kids? When I was going in, my bread, what I called my bread and butter speech was the ripple effect. Just letting kids know that everything you do has some type of effect on you and everyone around you. So that was my thing. What's yours? What is the thing that you go and hope that they take home with them and never let go of?
Okay, this quote that I used: "As long as your heart stands tall, you're not so small."
I need to clean the bell. There it is. I'm scared to hit that thing as hard as I can hit it with this, even though it's, I'm so used to where that other one, that little thing,
So Lauren, that, and I'd say never give up.
Never give up. Yes, like you.
Never give
Well,
up.
I was just waiting on a chance
Yep.
to play this again.
Yep.
So
Never give
we'll
up.
remind. That was half.
You know what, Lauren? Lauren? I tell them before I attempt the shot, I say, guys, look, if I miss this shot, this is a difficult shot. If I miss this on the first try, I'm never gonna give up. I'm gonna keep trying until I make it.
I wondered how you covered yourself in case you missed it.
Yes, that's how I cover myself. Yes.
Because look, people may not know this. You speakers out there, let me tell you something. If you ever get booked at an urban school or a school that's brown and black kids, you better have your stuff. I mean it. I remember one time,
better be right.
The first time I went to one, and they were in the gym, and it was kindergarten, first, second, third, all the way back to sixth grade. They were all on the floor, right? Mm-hmm. And I was doing my thing, and I looked down in the front, and some little kindergarten girls, little black ones, they had about 1,000 little click-clack borettes in their hair, and they sitting there, and they were like,
yep, that's how they do. Yep.
And I was like, and I went on, what's wrong with y'all? They said, you don't even look down here like we're not even here. Right. And so, if they'll let you know if they're not picking up what you're dropping off.
Quick.
I tell new speakers, get in front of kids. It is the best place to hone your speaking craft because they're going to let you know what's working and they're going to let you know what's not, right? So what is your greatest joy after you've spoken with kids? And let me ask you this. Have you ever had that ride home where, that ride home after speaking to some kids? I have many times where I can't even turn Sirius XM on because something happened. One of those kids shared something privately or said something that just touched my heart. And I have to just be right in the midst of peacefulness all the way home. Have you ever left one of those events, Jonte, and felt like the spirit of one or more of those kids was with you still when you got home, you just can't get them out of your head?
Yes, that happened in 2019. I was in upstate New York, and this kid was shy, so he told his teacher. So after the engagement, the teacher said, I forgot the kid's name, but she was like, this kid wanted to play baseball, but he was told he was too small to play, and she said after he saw you, he wanted to play baseball. Oh. So Lauren, I wanted to cry. Oh my God, I was just, my word is resonating to these kids. So it's like,
they love you.
Yes, they do.
I've watched a lot of the footage of what you've done, and they absolutely adore you.
Thank you, Lauren.
I want to ask you this because I've never asked you this, and I've always wondered. Let's say from the time you were middle school, you had your little homies and friends from the hood, your buddies and whatnot, some from church, some from the same block, family members, what have you. How many of the friends, guys and girls, since you were that age, would you say lost their lives to the streets, to all that stuff? I think it's important for people to understand that, and it's not talked about enough. But if you feel comfortable, just roughly, how many friends would you say you've seen lose their lives to these issues we've been talking about today?
At least 10 kids, and some of them was my closest friends. And and again, growing up, they were the same kids that was trying to push me into the wrong direction. And that's why I kind of speak on. You have to know yourself as an individual. You got to know yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You got to know who you are, and know what you're not going to settle for. And I caught it. Thank God, I caught it at an early age. Some kids don't get it until they get older.
It's too late.
It's too late. So it's very important to all the watchers, the listeners, to know who you are. Know who you are as a person. It's very important. So Lauren, I lost about a good 10 people due to gun
Mm.
violence.
Do you ever think about them when you're doing what you're doing to make a change with the younger kids?
Yes, I
I
do.
do
I
too.
do.
I do
I do
too.
a lot. A lot.
We're still
A lot.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, you feel that it's almost like that survivor's guilt thing sometimes for me, where I
absolutely.
feel like, especially when I'm in front of kids in foster care, because there were four of us in that room that very first night when I entered foster care. There were three that were there before me,
Wow.
and even though I was only together with them about 4 weeks, the four of us, I never forgot them. And when I got out at 19, um, I went looking for them and
Hmm.
found out through my last caseworker that not one of those boys made it out alive. The oldest lived to
Wow.
14. And so I
Wow.
actually have a necklace upstairs that I wear when I speak to kids because I hold it and I rub it and it reminds me as I had it made to represent these three boys and I speak for them. So let's talk about the responsibility you feel as a person that any person looks up to. A lot of people look at you as a celebrity and that sort of a thing. Can you got your own shoes and this and the other, but what is it that makes what you do most important to you? I know you, so I know it's not the shoes, it's not the
No.
celebrity status.
No.
What is it? What is that thing that makes you keep doing it every day?
It just again, just like we just talked about, not letting these kids fall victim to the streets, to the bullying, etc. That drives me, that motivates me to like, okay, Jonte, it's very important to get your message out there because you never know how many kids you're going to save. Well, you're
Yeah,
going to help save.
yeah.
So these shoes don't mean anything. Them shoes don't mean anything. It's my message that means the most.
Jonte, do you remember a time when you were growing up where you made a decision that most likely saved your life?
Yes, I do, Lauren. It was when I was 13.
Uh-huh. See
I
how
was
it was
I
right
was
there in the front of your mind?
yep,
See that?
yep.
Mm,
13,
okay.
13 years old. 13 years old. I was playing recreation basketball, and I had a friend of mine. He passed away. He got killed in 2013. I want to say one of my closest friends,
Mm,
and that's when I woke up and said, because we were always hanging together, go to practice together. Like we lived in the same neighborhood. He came to my mom's house, and we were tight.
mhm.
And I knew it hit me right there, Jonte. You see what direction he going in. This is me talking to myself, Jonte. You see the direction he going in. Do you want to be a part of that? And I said, no, I don't. So I stopped hanging with him for a little bit. I explained to him why, and he understood it. You know,
Mhm.
he understood all the way up to his death. He understood it. Jonte, a basketball player. He not built for the streets, and he left me alone. So I
He
got
left
it
you.
like that, Lauren. I got it like that.
How does a kid, because you didn't fall into the gang lifestyle at all, did you?
No, heck no,
But
no.
they tried to recruit you.
Yes, yes.
How does a kid, if there's any parent or a child listening or will be listening later on the replay, because they're still out there recruiting. And that's why I love what we do. And I tell people that are influencers, the reason we have to be on our game 24/7 is because those people out there, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and all the other stuff in between, they don't take holidays and weekends off. They don't whisper. They're yelling from the top of their lungs all day, every day, recruiting, recruiting. Um, so what would you recommend if a kid is feeling pressure, peer pressure, and or not even a peer, because sometimes they're older, telling them, yeah, come on, we'll be your family. How do you
Hmm.
get away from that? Because they don't just let you go.
Yeah. Um. Again, Lauren, just parents. Okay, this for the parents first. Stay on your kids. Don't go to them like aggressive. Just had an open ear, because a lot
Hmm.
of kids are suffering from mental health. Also, mental health.
Mental illness,
I
yes.
Yeah, identity. Identity problems. Don't know who they are. So parents, it's very important for us to like be there for our kids in a different way. I'm not saying be that friend, but have that attitude like, okay, you can tell me anything because you never know what your son is going through. And some of the things can force them to go that route, you know, to go that route, because they could be going through identity, not knowing who they are, and they, I guess that make them feel accepted. You know, I'm like, okay, they accepted me. You know, I'm family to them. So it's very important for us as parents to make sure we be on our kids. You know, like, okay, and give them attention, whatever they need. Just be there for them. Be there for them. And if you're a kid, again, identity. Know who you are. When things
Know
get
who you
hard,
are.
know who you are. Pray. You know, I don't know if parents teaching religion to their kids, but try to get a religion, like, you know, and pray and pray. God is first. God
Something
is
greater
love.
than yourself to believe in.
Exactly. I like that
Well,
one. Yes. And that.
I agree. I agree. And I know it's what brought me through and keeps me through.
Yes.
And I just am so encouraged by what you're doing. It's such a pleasure to have you back. Been too long. We won't wait 2 years again. I promise you that. And if any of you, and I know you do, in order to keep in touch with Jonte, here's a couple ways you can do it. You can hit him up at JonteNotSoSmallHall.com. That's his website. There's also this opportunity, Too Tall Hall 7, which is Instagram, I believe, right?
Yep.
Is that your Instagram? Okay.
Yep.
Listen, here's your Jerry Springer moment. What would you like people to remember from today's interview with you? If they were to forget everything but one thing, what would you hope that one thing that they kept with them and gave away to other people would be? What would that be?
We all go through pit stops, y'all. You know, we might be at a job that we're not happy at. I think we go through them pit stops for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, stay focused, never give up, and realize that's only a pit stop. That's not your final destination in life. So just accept it for right now, and take that job like it's your dream job. It's take it like you where you want to be at, and watch how you grow, and watch how you go to your final destination where you want to be.
Amen.
So
Amen, brother. Amen. And what I'll say as we get out of here, you guys, what I take from Jonte every time we're together is that no matter how tall or short you are, no matter what neighborhood you come from, when it comes time to shoot your shot, shoot it like you mean it. And then if you don't make it, shoot it again like you mean it. Because no matter what we do in this world, in this life, on this journey, it must be something that means something to us, or else it can never be meaningful for others. Take that with you. Thank you all so much for joining us here today for Bathrobe Moments. I'll be out front tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, God willing, and we'll do it all again. My guest tomorrow, he's back again, another return guest, John Templeton. He was here about 6 months ago preparing for this marathon where he was running, I think it's like 26 miles, carrying this huge weighted pack to raise money to help kids. He's going to be here tomorrow to tell us how it all turned out, and I'm looking forward to it. So join us if you'd like. I hope to see you here. Thank you for joining us, giving us the opportunity to fulfill the promise that where two or more of us comes together, something wonderful will happen, and it happened. Jonte, thank you. God bless you. I want to see you again real soon. Get out there and keep doing what you're doing. You guys, be the blessing you'd like to receive. I'll see you tomorrow for our next installment of Bathrobe Moments. Bye-bye. Bye, Jonte. Thank you, man.
See you
Thank
later. No problem.
Bye-bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time.